Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. And guys, if you own XRP or XLM, or you are trying to educate yourself about the ISO20022 compliant tokens, you need to hear me out because unfortunately in the crypto community, there is so much misinformation about XRP. And it's not just from the influencers who are trying to pump their bags and pump their channel by telling you what you want to hear and not telling you the truth, or definitely not trying to tell you the risk. We need to have a conversation. And this conversation is about some positive news. And it is about Harvard writing another paper that included Ripple and also Stellar and some other tokens. But this is the third time that Harvard has written a paper about Ripple and XRP. That's pretty bullish. Now, I will say, which I read this paper, I will say that they talk like it is a real thing, but it's just a paper. But from looking at the kind of the roadmap, no matter what, the U.S. government has been talking to Harvard and about the digital dollar. But there is so much BS. I just want to clarify it. I'm not being negative because this is bullish news. I own XRP. I think it's a great risk reward trade. But I want to clarify the misinformation because, guys, this is real money, or at least for me, it's real money. And the more you know, the better decisions you can make. I believe in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 years, we have the best opportunity to change our financial future through digital assets and blockchains and everything that's coming down the pipe. Now, let's get into it. Now, this is so typical. I'm going to read this article. So if you're a headline reader and you follow people that do the same, which is very common, anything that comes out about almost anything, people start yelling XRP. Doesn't matter if there's truth to it or not. All roads to some people, and some of these influencers have a big following. And guys, I got you back. I will tell you the good, the bad, and ugly. So anyway, it says Harvard Ripple XRP and Stellar Luna's XLM will be backbone of payment system of the future. Guys, that is 100% made up speculation BS. Now, could it be true? Yes, but he's talking about this particular Harvard report like it's factual, and it's BS. It's 100% has no merit behind it as it being factually true. Is there a 10%, 20%, 50%, 90% chance that that is going to be the future? I don't know, but at least tell me you don't know. But see, when people read this, and then I guarantee if you surf around, you're going to hear this to be a fact. And this is very positive news. But, if I didn't know better, I'd run out and put real money and stack even more of my XRP bag. Like there's no risk. Like, oh my God, this is the future. And they got a lawsuit going with the SEC that could literally put XRP Ripple out of business. I don't want to get off on that, but that is a thing that could happen. Worst case scenario is a lot worse than anyone ever talks about. But I promise you guys, if you subscribe and come back in 2023, because of all the hype and the crap out there, I'm going to ask the hard questions. And I'm going to try to answer those to the best of my ability. And guys, I highly recommend if you hear something that you disagree with me, let me know in the comments section. Don't just, repeat these BS bullet lines. And also, ask the people you listen to, whoever that is. Ask them to answer the questions. Because I got some hard questions coming down the pipe in the next couple of weeks about Ripple and XRP. And some of you are going to appreciate it. Some of you are going to cry and probably go somewhere else. But that's fine, because I want to build a really smart group in my community that we can rely on each other for good, factual information. And I promise you, I may not always be right, but I'll be right here. And guys, we'll get to the bottom of it. So anyway, here's the deal, guys. The first thing I found out when I went down the rabbit hole, see, and this is funny. I really find this funny. I get my intelligence insulted watching some other people make videos sometime. And sometime I can't help myself. I'll leave a comment. And I promise you, almost 100% of the time, they never answer of why I'm wrong. Here's what they tell me. Well, you don't go down the rabbit hole. I did my research. You just a headline reader. Well, guys, that's why I know I'm right. I don't debate to be right. I debate to be correct in my thinking so I know how to invest. But I'm going to show you an example of the difference of a lot of people out there and how I do my research. So I read that headline and I was excited, just like I am a lot of times. But I didn't make a video with all that fake hype. I read the report. Now, first thing I found out, this is the third article. They wrote one in like 2019, but then they added to it and updated it in 2020, and now they just came out with another paper. Now, here's the deal. It says proposed pathway to the U.S. digital dollar. And as we go through this, I'm pretty sure the U.S. government is paying attention to this. Now, how much they are going to use it, how much of it is going to be the future, I don't know. But I'm going to show you a little bit of the roadmap that they drew, and we're on that path. So anyway, here's another thing I want to tell you. In this paper, it wasn't just about XRP and Ripple. There was one paragraph, maybe two paragraphs about them. They talk about Bitcoin. They talk about Ethereum, which, guys, I would say 9 times out of 10 of every banking, it doesn't matter what it is, Bitcoin and Ethereum is part of it, for whatever that's worth. Now, so they talked about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and this threw me a curveball. They talked about EOS. And I've done a video about that layer 1. Actually, I'll leave a link down below because it may have a future. And from talking to developers, it is what Ethereum would like to be. But they had a rug pull and a big controversy about it. But they have new developers and a whole new, use case of what they are trying to do. And if they make it through this bull market, they may have a future because it's a whole different layer 1 as far as the team and what's behind it. But from my understanding, the technology is, cutting edge and some of the best out there. And after reading this paper, I'm going to go take a second look at EOS. And then they talked about XLM, XRP, and also Cypherium. And as we know from the FEDNOW, Cypherium is, no ifs and buts about it, part of the new future with CBDCs and the digital dollar. All that's going to tie in. And the FEDNOW system is a real thing. And Cypherium is what they chose, for whatever that's worth. So that's the good news, guys. Now, this guy is a doctor with an MBA at Harvard. So, I highly recommend, at least hear him out. And I will say this, when you read this paper, and I read it really fast, he talks like matter of fact. Like he doesn't say, could, or this is the way we could do it or might do it. It's like, this is what's going to happen when we do it. But either way, it's still a proposal that they submitted to the power that be, right? Now, it talks about cross-border payments and all that. But here's what I want to show you. Look at this little mini roadmap, guys, because it's right exactly on it. It says first step by Fed, US CBDC, August 2021. I'm assuming that's when they announced that they were looking into it. Then the next step is the question mark. I'm guessing that that is the testing that is going on now. Now, it may have been when they announced the FEDNOW, but I think it's alluding to the testing, because we know that they're testing the digital dollar. We know Quant, XRP. I mean, they're all the ISO tokens may or may not be evolved, but I do know for a fact XRP and Quant and Ethereum are part of what they're testing, period. And I'm doing that by memory. I did a video on that. I'll actually try to find that, do a link down below. But anyway, the FEDNOW is supposed to go live this year on top of Ethereum. And guys, if you got that big account, the adoption is going to follow from other governments around the world as far as Cypherium. And I'll try to create another video to update us. But here's a cool thing. Now, another video that I'll leave a link down below. Check out this, what they said for 2024, because I literally just did a video on the top 5 AI blockchains that I think have a good chance to pump in the next bull run before I read this article. But check this out. It says blockchain AI and machine language integration in 2024. Well, guys, like I said, this is not factual. This is a proposal. But I'm telling you guys, this is Harvard. And Harvard is definitely linked to the good old boys club. And everything seems to be in line. Now, I'm just going to read one more thing to you. And it's not the most positive, but it's something we need to understand. Now, I just did a video on Ripple XRP being centralized and decentralized, which I'll leave a link down below as well. But guys, here's the point. Whether you think XRP is centralized or decentralized, I'm going to tell you this. The XRP ledger and XRP technically on the tech side is decentralized. However, here's the thing you have to understand. Is there an entity that could shut down or have a huge influence on XRP or the XRP ledger? If the answer is yes, then it's centralized. Now, that doesn't mean it won't survive, but I'm talking about as far as an investment. Can they change the future of your investment? The pump that we all believe that's going to happen in XRP. Well, here's what Harvard has to say. Don't worry about what I say about it. But it says the shortcomings, which this is all talking about XRP in this particular chapter. It says government sanctions and intervention can disrupt the complete process of the chain. For example, XRP is still being investigated by the SEC. So guys, that's telling you that it's centralized. Now, yes, the technology decentralized, but it's centralized in the big picture of whatever you want to say. If Ripple goes out of business tomorrow, or if Ripple decides to dump their 500 billion, or their, 50 billion tokens, they want to dump them and go out of business, what do you think is going to happen to the XRP ledger, to XRP? It may survive, but it'll do it without my money and probably do it without your money. Now, another thing, again, not being negative. I own XRP. I like XRP. I think it's going to be, it is one of the best risk rewards out there as far as a trade. I think when Ripple, which is a huge concern of my bag of XRP, but when Ripple goes public with their IPO, it might be one of the biggest in history. Ripple long term is going to be a world beater. But there's one thing we all have to think about, and no one wants to talk about, and I highly recommend whoever you follow or listen to, ask them this question. And I can't think of the guy's name, but he's the guy that has the patent supposedly on DeFi. They shut down his blockchain. They confiscated it all. and Reggie Middleton. They confiscated all. His project went away. And they could rule, they could fine Ripple, say $100 million, and make them pay back at a premium, which is what that payback is supposedly all about, the $50,000, which that ain't going to happen. But the XRP could rule and do so much damage that Ripple couldn't afford it, and they would shut down. That being said, they would probably either retire, which is what I would do if I was Brad with all that money, or they could just use that same technology and start over from day one, and in 3 years be right back where they, started, and with new technology, new token, and all that. But anyway, I don't want to get negative. I really believe that everything's positive, and I think and I hope that Ripple's going to win this court case. But who knows, guys? Just understand the risk and understand how centralized it really is. Yes, the tech is not, but I don't believe if Ripple went out of business tomorrow that XRP has much of a future. Probably go to 3 cents. Most people would jump ship, maybe the developers and everyone else. There might be someone come in and try to do ODL because obviously the patents and all that would go out the door. Someone might try to take its place. I don't know, but there won't be, 100 influencers pumping XRP. I promise you that. But guys, I highly recommend get the good, bad, and the ugly. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification, because guys, we're going to hit the hard questions in 2023. I want the answers because guys, there's so much opportunity. We got to know how and what portfolio to build, and it comes from getting all the answers. Guys, if your thought process of whatever it is you think about XRP or any project, if it has real merit, debate it. Because I personally do not debate to be right. I could care less. But it's very important to me that I am correct in my thinking. Because I want you to think about this, guys. If you read this article and you didn't hear this video, and you read this article, and this is why I do it, I really do. Because I'm concerned about the people with this huge followings, and people think they're smart and they believe them. And it says Harvard, Ripple, basically will be, that's a fact, guys, in an article of a major publication. Look at this, Crypto News Flash. So you could easily read that and then go do some surfing and have these influencers telling you 10,000, 50,000, 500,000, all this crazy, stupid, hyped up lies that they want to pump so they can pump their channel and pump their bags. And you'll get wrecked, guys. So anyway, don't mean to get on a rant. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But guys, this is extremely bullish. I mean, Harvard's written 3 different papers that included Ripple XRP, but I think it's bullish across the board for Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, XLM, XRP, and Cypherium for sure. Now come back, guys. I'm going to dive into EOS again because that's kind of got me thinking I might need to do more homework. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section and hit that like button and come back and be part of this community. One other thing, guys, not financial advice, but educate yourself, pick tokens that have real world utility, and get to stacking. Take care.